Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Die Hard Orchids. Today I am out here with my beautiful Maxillaria tenuifolia. So I've had this orchid for about 2 years almost now, and this orchid has not flowered. I have had a guy take care of it before. Where I got this from, North End Organic Nursery up in Idaho, around the Boise area. Such a cool nursery to go for all your plant needs and stuff. One of the guys there actually gave this to me. So he had it for about 5 years. It didn't bloom, hasn't done anything for him. Hasn't done anything for me since I got it. It's still green, still healthy, still has all the new growth, still has everything growing on it. But it hasn't bloomed. So if anybody knows the reasons, somebody can help me out in the comments below. That would be really appreciative. Otherwise, I'm actually going to try a little bit of a different method, and I'm going to repot it and see if that happens, because maybe this orchid pot has holes through it, and so that's probably what's causing it to not flower, is that it's drying out really fast. And so when the orchid dries out really fast, the roots have to go through a lot of energy to look for that water, and so it doesn't have time to put out any flowers because it's concentrating primarily on root growth. Also, I noticed that the bulbs are slightly wrinkled too, so that is characteristic of a lack of water as well. So we're gonna pot this in a pot that does not have a drainage hole in it to kind of retain a little bit more moisture. I'm also gonna use my custom mix that I made last night for this. And so it's going to retain a little bit more water, so we'll see what happens with it. So let's get to repotting. Ready? So this should just come out. I don't know how it's going to react. It doesn't look like it's stuck in here. So we'll see what happens when I get this in. Plus, it's also not a good idea to have an orchid like this in a pot with so many drainage holes, because the roots could eventually go through that and get stuck to the pot. Kind of gently cooks it out. Go. Ooh, yeah. See, that's a little bit root bound in there. That's not good. Okay, so that's the root ball, and then this is the pot that it was in. So it looks like it's actually got mitochondrial fungus growing on here. Mycorrhizal fungus growing on here, not mitochondrial fungus. Hell, okay. See if I can get rid of some of this. Kind of refresh it up a bit. What causes this fungus is it being in the atmosphere, and also sunlight that gets down into the roots will cause that as well. So that's not really good to have. Yeah, there's a lot of it here. Okay. Anytime you repot orchids, they do become stressed. So I'm going to leave this after it's been repotted up again, and we'll see what happens to it. It should do pretty well, considering they do have the same care requirements as Phalaenopsis. At least this one does anyway. Okay. Try and get rid Yeah, these roots are really dehydrated. So it's still growing, it's still got new growth on it, but we'll see if this helps it flower. Unfortunately, I underestimated how big this root ball was going to be. But this is a good time to repot this one because of that. So let's see how far this goes. There's actually a lot of charcoal mixed in here too. So it's gonna go back into a charcoal mix, which is nice because at least it's familiar with that. That is a lot of charcoal. I don't know if I would put that much charcoal in it. My one doesn't have that much. It's got a little bit bigger pieces, but it doesn't have as much charcoal in here. So I'm wondering if that's maybe a contributor. Maybe there's got to be, or maybe there's a ratio between it. Okay. I think that's as far as I'm going to get with this. So I'm not going to disturb it too much. All right. Looks pretty good. Now, I was going to put it in here, but now I'm not so sure. So I'm going to cut and find a better pot for this. And we're back. Okay. So I was able to find a terracotta pot instead of this. That's a little bit bigger. Even though it doesn't look very good, which is okay for me because I don't really care. Now I'm going to fill this up with my orchid mix that I made. Let's get some. Actually, let me do this. Let me go find a little stand to put this on. Okay, so instead of finding a terracotta stand, I found this little like flat piece that I could put in the bottom as like a drainage barrier so it doesn't drain out too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it just like that. I don't know if you can see that very well, probably not, but there in the bottom, and I'll just put the stuff around it. So just grab a handful of bark, put that in there. Now we're going to put in the plants, and it just becomes like a regular repotting video. I'll put that in there. Okay. I'm going to place my mix around it. Right like that. Making sure that I fill up all the sides too, because that's really important. Get this. All right, well that's gonna be it for this video. So I hope I have earned your subscription today, and I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and like this video if you did enjoy it. I'm a small-time YouTuber and I would like to take off with this, so I'm helping to spread my passion for orchids with you guys, and I hope I have inspired you to take care of orchids today too. So, and I hope this orchid does good because I love this orchid. I love all my orchids, but I like this one too, so alrighty, I will catch you in the next one.